Circle has applied to become a national trust bank in the United States. We're glad to have you back on the cryptocurrency page, and as always, I'm grateful to you all. It's only 2 hours until the end of the monthly candle on XRP, which is currently happening. For some reason, I still find it hard to believe that I talked about this with you all last night and again about 4 hours ago at the end of the day. It did happen for XRP. The price repeat happened just at the levels neckline. As I've been explaining, there are still 2 hours left. So a lot of things could still happen. I really hope that the price goes back up above that range. That would be a really big deal. That being said, take a look at this. Circle is applying for a national trust license in the US, but not many people know that Ripple is already recognized as a digital neobank. A digital bank doesn't need a full banking license or charter to be on the list of digital banks. Take a look at the market as a whole right now, and you can see that there was a small correction. But what makes this situation really interesting is something that most people will miss. Bitcoin's bulls and bears are fighting. There has been a small drop in price, and it's possible that the price of Bitcoin might go down again, achieve an all-time high this week if it stays above 19 and closes the monthly candle that is currently above it. However, Bitcoin is still holding strong, even though there was a small drop. Take a look at this. The market as a whole is also going down since it gained 2%. XRP is still strong. It's also important to remember that XRP is one of the most well-known cryptocurrencies, even if some people don't pay attention to that. To put this into perspective, the value of XRP now is $227.00, which is 3.4% more than its value when it was worth $134 billion, 0 cents. Additionally, take a look at how much money is traded every day, $3 billion and $200 million. The fact that it is growing at a rate more than twice as fast as it was the night before is once again very amazing. However, before we go any further, it's important to note that nothing on this channel should be taken as financial advice. If you're thinking about investing in cryptocurrencies, you should always be careful and do your own research on the market. For example, by the summer of 2026, Sparks, the biggest bank in Germany, will start letting regular people trade cryptocurrencies. I find this very exciting. I'm sorry, but this makes me very happy because, of course, we're talking about the super cycle. We've been talking about that topic for a while now, and all of those issues that really come up make me wonder if we will actually see a bull market this time. In the past, we didn't see the government talking about cryptocurrency, but this time is different. Banks didn't seem to be that open with us, and ETFs weren't available to us, but they are now. This makes me seriously question whether or not this bull market will last until 2026. Recently, we've been talking about super cycles, but imagine what would happen if a lot of banks around the world started giving their customers their own trading platforms. What does this mean for people, institutions, and big businesses that don't know how to use cryptocurrencies, but want to spread their holdings? They could potentially make hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars. This is because of the opportunity presented by the cryptocurrency market. The rules have been changed. This is not to be taken lightly at all. Even though it seems like not many people are paying attention, I want to make sure you understand this. Also, taking a look at this, most of the big banks think that the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates by 25 which is the same as 100 basis points. Other banks think that there will be a drop of 25 to 100 basis points starting as early as July, while others still think that there won't be any rate cuts in 2025. The Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, meets this month, and I think that if there is a rate drop, the fireworks will start according to the data shown. Bank of America doesn't think there will be any. Barclays thinks there will be 25, and Citi thinks there will be 75. As we said before, we'll wait and see what happens. It's clear that the rate needs to go down, which is something I think everyone wants right now. Take a look at this. Many of Jeff Z and Eric's claims about exchange-aided funds, ETFs, have been proven true so far for Litecoin, Solana, and XRP. They think there is a 95% chance that the SEC will give its approval to spot exchange traded funds, ETFs. This coming Wednesday is the day that Solana's exchange traded fund ETFs will go live. They're called the staked exchange traded fund. Once more, I think that this will be the year that a lot of assets will be able to get that ETF, which will be great in terms of timing. You may already know that everything is happening at the perfect time as we move into the second half of the year. This can help us achieve a lot of success. However, take a look at this. Right now, we have a president calling for interest rates to be lowered to as low as 1%. And he is also starting to say openly that he will replace Powell as chair of the Federal Reserve with someone who will immediately lower interest rates. To make matters worse, stock prices are at an all-time high in the market, and there are more homes for sale than ever before. A lot of things, including cryptocurrencies and US debt, are at all-time highs. Not all of them are cryptographic, but we can see that some of them are. This helps us understand what we're seeing in the world of digital assets and in general. However, if the new chair of the Federal Reserve does lower interest rates to 1%, that would be a big drop. One of the biggest bull runs in history may be happening in both the stock market and the real estate market. I also think it showed up in the cryptocurrency market, especially altcoins, because altcoins haven't had their time yet. I also think that if interest rates went down, people who own Bitcoin might think now is the time to lock in profits from that cryptocurrency. They might then buy some more speculative assets because they might no longer be able to control the price of Bitcoin. This could cause other cryptocurrencies to rise sharply. When the stock market or home prices were at all-time highs, the Federal Reserve has never lowered interest rates to 1% or less.